We are back in the booth. I'm Shawn Booth, and thank you guys for tuning in, wherever you're listening from. Maybe you are in Winchester, Missouri, Springfield, Massachusetts, or maybe you are in East Lansing, Michigan. That's the home of the Michigan State, what's their name, Sam Cat? Spartans.
Spartans,
yeah. There you go. Good job. We are back, and we've got a jam-packed house. To my left, my direct left, you probably can't see him. Maybe you can see his feet right now, but he is eating. We got Lox Booth in the building.
Loxy B.
And to his left, we got Auntie Cat in the building.
It's me.
And we got our man Easton behind the ones and twos. And we are back in Nashville, Tennessee, experiencing a heat wave. My goodness, it's going to be a spicy hot podcast here. I think we turn the AC off when we do these, correct, Easton? No AC? Yeah, for the sound. And so at my gym, we were recording stuff the last couple of days, and I forgot to turn the AC back on. And so people can't even, they were like slipping on the rubber because it's so wet, and it's pretty hilarious. Like, people are coming out of locker rooms after they shower, and it looks like they didn't even use a towel because they're just drenching wet through all their clothes.
Yeah. I used to practice with no AC in the summer, and I have absolutely no idea how I survived that. I'm pretty sure that's illegal now, but it was the 90s, so it was a weird time. But I'm a big AC girl these days. I'm ready for fall. I know that it's August 1st, but baby, I'm ready for fall. I need a crisp 62-degree, sunny, windy.
Yeah.
Like, I need it. I need the NFL music playing in the back and just the smell of fall. I'm ready.
I'm ready too.
I don't want to wish time away, but
officially ready.
Whenever.
Yeah.
But the thing is that we're going to be sweating until October around here.
Oh, and then it's still going to be fall, and then it'll be really nice, like the crispy 62, and then one random Thursday it'll be like 94 again.
Correct.
But we're looking forward to that. I just went on a run, and I was actually thinking the same thing because it's hard to control your heart rate when you're training and when you're running and practicing different zones and aerobic and anaerobic, and you want to try and maintain a zone 2, a blue zone, Sam Cat, and you're going all the way up to the orange and the red, but your orange is your threshold, but you don't want to pass that because you want to work with that lactic acid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm ready for the fall for running purposes.
Same. Definitely running purposes only. I'm a big runner.
Olympics. I haven't watched a single second on my TV of the Olympics. I've seen some clips, I've seen some highlights, but I haven't watched at all. And I saw one of the funniest videos I think I've ever seen of Steven, pommel horse guy.
Oh, the pommel horse guy. The representative of all nerds across the country.
Like Clark Kent style.
Love it. I mean, good for him. I love the memes. First of all, I say this, I feel like every podcast, but the internet remains undefeated. There are so many creative people out there that are quicker and funnier than you and I will ever be. And I love that for them because I enjoy it. But the memes for Steven have been off the charts.
I sent you that video, right?
Yeah.
Those girls in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not like, I don't know, listen, no one ever cares about gymnastics. The Olympics is pretty much the only time that collectively as a whole, people are curious and really into it and watching and trying to learn about the sport. So this is like my favorite time of year. I am the first to admit that I don't know nearly as much about men's gymnastics as I do women's. But I mean, how cool is it to be Steven? Like the day that this kid won the first medal for the U.S. men's team since 2008, on his Instagram story was a screenshot, a picture of him solving a Rubik's Cube in under 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So, out here, they're doing their endorsements. They're talking about their sport. They're all this. This kid's talking about a Rubik's Cube. And I love that.
Incredible.
I love it.
And so his specialty, like that's the only thing he does, right? And the men only won the gold medal because of his performance.
That is correct.
So they had him like
bronze.
sitting on the sidelines, and they just had like a countdown to when he was going, right?
I do have to say that the broadcast definitely leaned into his career. So it is very rare to make a team as a specialist because obviously there's so many gymnasts in the world and there's not a lot of opportunity to make an Olympic team. And he is just so good at pommel horse. And I have to preface this with that pommel horse is notoriously like make or break for people's careers. You can be a successful male gymnast, but if you don't have pommel horse, it has mentally and physically broken many a man. So this kid obviously very much excels at it, so much so that he was chosen as a specialist, which is just like unheard of, to come and only compete the pommel horse for his team. Like you said, it was really coming down to the wire. They had not won a medal since 2008. So no pressure, Steven. But the reason you're here is for this exact moment. The kid sat there with his eyes closed, trying to stay in the zone. Eventually woke up, took his glasses off, came up, dominated, and they walked away with the bronze medal.
And so, bronze. They didn't get gold.
No, bronze. So it was the first time they had medaled since 2008, which is great. But a medal is a medal in my eyes. I'm not there, but
right.
So it was the first time, but it was so close that they were not going to be on the podium unless he hit exactly what he did. And the pommel horse is so hard.
Yeah, explain the pommel horse. It's like the big bean that looks kind of like a horse. You're riding a horse without.
Sure. I mean, it's like, I have no idea what the dimensions are. Like I said, I don't know much about men's gymnastics, but it's got two.
They don't do that in women's?
Hell no.
Oh, they just do the beam.
Here's the thing. Men's gymnastics and women's gymnastics are completely different sports. Like, they just really are. It's not, it would be like comparing basketball to baseball. I know that sounds insane, but Locks agrees with me, so obviously I'm correct. But it's, we share 2 events with the men, but even those 2 events are just drastically different. I'd say the closest is vault, because it's obviously the same skill, but like, we also share floor.
Floor, I was going to say, it's pretty similar.
No. I mean, yes and no. Yeah, you're tumbling, but like, men don't have music, women do. Men are doing back-to-back skills, a lot of strength-based.
Wait, why don't men have music for the floor?
Because whoever invented the sport decided that was not a qualification.
Really?
They've never had music. The gymnasts that are women are more like artistic. So it's more dance, leaps, turns, dancing to music, a lot more graceful. Men carry the strength in their upper body. Women carry it in their lower body. And there's more focus on flexibility and artistry for women.
Gotcha.
And there's more focus on like stillness, strength, and just masculinity in the men's.
Right.
So they're very, very different sports. We just have a little bit in common.
Okay. With the men, is it always, because I know with the women, isn't it Russia is always like the big team and U.S.?
I mean, if you read the history books, yes.
Okay. What about the men? You don't know much.
I don't know much about the men.
Okay.
I do have to say. I mean, I know that China and Japan have been very dominant for them in the past couple of years. And Japan actually, I think, won the all around. I think China was second place and then United States was third. So
okay, so I could be wrong, Steven. That dude's gonna be getting endorsement deals right now, I'd imagine.
I really hope so, because I just love someone who is unapologetically themselves. I love that he obviously is fantastic at gymnastics and he didn't crack under the pressure, and now he's a country mascot that we have now. Like, everybody knows the Clark Kent guy, the pommel horse guy.
He's probably back in the science lab right now as we speak. Like, he's done with the Olympics and he's back to work and whatever.
Well, he still has event finals. He's not done.
Okay.
Yeah, he's still got the pommel horse to compete later.
Singles?
Yeah, so basically how gymnastics works, this is both men and women, is that there's a team competition. There's an all-around competition. And then individually, you can qualify for each event as well. So the week continues. Like, today is the women's all-around competition, but then after we'll still have vault, bars, beam, and floor individual events as well. Okay.
All right. So Big Steven guy's here. He's also got a girlfriend of 8 or 10 years, I believe he was talking about.
Good for him. I love that.
Yeah. Gotta love it. There's always a couple people that emerge from the Olympics and become national heroes. Steven is one, and I'd say the second one is the cap catcher.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who the cap catcher is?
No. I thought you were going to say the women's rugby.
That girl too, correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Ilona, I'm going to butcher it. She literally just put out a video of how to say her name because everybody was butchering it, and here I am doing it again to her.
When she became popular because of TikTok, because that one video when she's talking about a guy talked to me and he told me to keep moving.
Yes, but also she's hysterical on the internet, but also she's great at her craft.
Yeah.
The women's rugby team also won gold, and she was an enormous part of that.
I saw one play. I was like, holy shit. Like, this girl jumped as high as she could, was falling back like Odell Beckham style, caught the ball. The other girl like hangs on to her ankles and pulls her over her shoulder. I mean, it was crazy. So she's definitely one girl that's blown up. I keep seeing her, but the cap catcher.
Yeah, I don't know who this is.
This guy literally sits on the sidelines during all the swim races. And if anybody loses their cap in the water, he comes out and he like takes his clothes off and he's wearing like a rainbow Speedo. And he's like this out of shape, looks like 40, 50-year-old guy. And his job is to jump in the water and to retrieve the cap, and then he comes out. So you got all the people in the stands are like cheering him on, and he just dives in with his little Speedo, grabs the cap at the bottom of the pool, and gets out. And everybody goes crazy every time he goes in.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm going to have to look out. I do have to admit that I haven't watched much swimming. I've watched it in the primetime coverage, but not necessarily live. So I'm going to be on the lookout for that tonight when I watch.
Yeah. And he won't tell his name because he doesn't want to take away the attention from the swimmers.
I mean, I get that because I also just feel like.
But also, I'm like, dude, you're wearing a rainbow Speedo and you don't want to take the attention away from the swimmers.
Well, and maybe that's his uniform and it's always been like that at events. It's just now, he's at the Olympics, got a lot more eyes on him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I haven't seen any of it. I saw the women gymnastics. They got gold.
They did get gold.
Hell yeah. Good for them.
It's so good. I mean, listen, I could talk about gymnastics every day, all day for the rest of my life. I feel like I love the sport. I love that everybody's paying attention to it. I love, obviously, winning. Gold is my favorite. But that win for the U.S. women's team, I feel like has so many layers that even the media hasn't covered, that it's just a really good thing for the girls, for the sport, for our country.
Right.
If you've paid attention to gymnastics over the last 5 to 10 years, obviously there's been horrendous scandal that has surrounded the sports. Yeah. And the girls have referred to it as the redemption tour.
Yeah.
And they've listed a bunch of things in the media. Like obviously Simone had a horrendous mental block in the Tokyo Olympics. Suni has been battling a kidney disease. Like there's just been a lot of things they've talked about, but what they haven't talked about, I think, is a lot of like the unspoken that this win did for the sport of gymnastics, and the fact that it has proven that in a healthy, safe environment, you can also fucking dominate.
Yeah.
And it's something that everybody needed to see, hear, and witness. I think that there's so much more importance that will, after the Olympics, become more apparent to the public of just like how important this was to rebuild women's gymnastics in the United States of America as a whole. And I know that that sounds dramatic, but I, as someone who has obviously been in love with the sport for forever, it was such a win for those of us that never once had an opportunity to compete in the Olympics. I'm not putting myself in the same category as them, but for those of us that dedicated our lives to this sport, for then it to get very much blown up in the public eye and now to kind of have it almost healed over feels really good.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's a good point. I didn't even think about all of the horrendous things that they went through. Like, I completely forgot about it, actually. And it's like, oh, yeah, the U.S. won again.
Yeah.
And it's like they overcame that, and people thought that the U.S. Olympics was going to go down basically forever, right? Yeah. After that scandal and after everything. Like, how can you come back from that? Are you going to be able to compete at a healthy level? And they overcame the demons. They completely had to clean house from everybody on the U.S. Olympics business side of things. And it's
not just the Olympics, USAG, all the way down to Junior Olympics. So I guess that's what I mean is the importance of it, is that they cleaned house in it was an appropriate action. It was the only action that could be done. And to come out on top on the other side of it, and the leader of it is Simone. Simone has been on both sides of it. She is the only one that was present at the Olympic Games in 2016 before everything imploded, and has now built herself back up to be in the 2024 Olympics. By the way, the oldest gymnast at 27 years old.
Yeah.
To do it. And she's the leader of it. She's the face of it. She's obviously faced immense pressure. And I don't know, it's just, I feel so good about the future of gymnastics because of where we're at right now. And it's just, it's exciting to see. And it's, I don't know, it makes me emotional. It makes me feel all the feels.
Yeah. I sent you a message. I said, what'd I say? Hey, is Simone Biles a little dramatic or what? Was that what I said?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you didn't respond, so I'm still waiting for that. I'd love for you to state your case. I'm listening.
First of all, big Simone guy. I think she's obviously the best the sport has ever had. I think her and Shawn Johnson, top two.
Okay.
Big Shawn Johnson guy right here.
Okay.
I just feel like every time I read or see a headline with Simone, it's always something dramatic, like always, like, going off on somebody. Can you give me
examples?
Her Instagram caption.
Okay, that's one.
All right.
Any others?
Well, let's talk about that one.
Okay.
I think, obviously, I am a guy who loves to shit talk. I am always a guy who likes a good chirp. To give you a little background, I had to do research after I saw the Instagram post.
Okay. I
Right?
like that you did research. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I had to do some research. So explain, there's a girl who was, and I watched another video, who was on the gymnastics team, Michaela, not Michaela Maroney.
No.
All right, we all like Michaela Maroney. She's
Maroney,
awesome.
yes.
Maroney,
Yeah.
yep. This Michaela girl, I guess, was a alternate for Simone, and then became on the team because Simone had dropped out, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
Okay.
And
so
she also got a silver medal.
give you a little background on this Michaela girl. Michaela Skinner was an alternate in previous Olympics. So she was Simone's teammate. Okay. I think it's important to mention that Michaela was also part of the USAG program when things weren't so great. So, you know, she's been at the hands of all of the bad things that you know about gymnastics, but also some of all of the good ones as well. After the Olympic trials of this year, she went on YouTube and decided to, you know, she didn't really say great things about the girls that made the team.
Okay.
She even went as far as to say, I wish I would have made a comeback because I feel like I could have like helped the United States, which I don't think
Not a bad thing.
is
to
not
say.
a bad thing. However, the way in which she said it was super condescending because she's like, these girls fell 2 times and still made the team. Again, not a bad thing to say.
Right.
It's more so the way she was saying it. And I think a lot of the disappointment came from the fact that they should be on the same team.
Well, now when she went on YouTube, did she just like have a YouTube channel
Yeah,
where
she has a
would
big following. She's an Olympic gymnast. She
Okay,
talks
so she
about the sport, and
constantly
obviously
talks
she was
about
in
the
it.
sport. She's an athlete.
Yeah.
So she gave her side saying that she could be on this year's team.
Essentially, but she went as far as to say there's no depth of difficulty. They're lazy. In reality, the girls just don't work hard anymore.
Right. Okay, so I heard that. Yep. She said everybody but Simone.
Correct.
So she wasn't talking crap about Simone. She never did, right?
I mean,
But I understand. So she said they don't work hard, which is a crazy assumption to make about a gymnast. Obviously, they're working hard.
well, and especially like she should be on their team. I don't mean physically the actual team. I'm just saying that like she represents the sport. She represents Olympic
Right, so she's-
gymnastics. Like
okay.
you should be supporting.
Kind of came across as a jealous, I'm not
Yes.
there anymore.
Yes.
Like,
Came off bad. And,
Yeah.
and again, I don't think necessarily everything she said was bad, but the way in which she said it
okay.
was
So
icky.
pretty bad, but not terrible.
Not terrible.
Okay.
So then flash forward, Simone.
Was there anything between, like, so did these girls?
So there were some tweets that went out.
Oh yeah,
not
Simone
just from,
said
yeah,
some people shouldn't have access.
yes,
to
and
a
again,
microphone
okay,
or
but is that
something.
bad? Is that bad though? Because Michaela could say her opinion, but Simone can't.
No, I'm saying this is what I'm saying. You can all say your opinions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I think it was just like a tweet, and then it was done.
Okay.
Because guess what? Simone had bigger fish to fry. She has to get ready for the Olympics.
Exactly.
In which she does.
Bigger fish to fry. Keep that in mind.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that's what I'm saying. I like that you said that because
okay.
I'm going to use that same
Okay.
phrase in like 30 seconds.
So then Simone gets her life together. They qualify for the team qualifications.
Yeah.
They win gold.
Yeah.
They win gold.
And
One,
what's the
two,
first
three.
thing that Simone does?
Oh, she
posts
posted
a
a picture.
picture.
Yes, and it's a clapback, Shawn, because
Yeah,
she
but
let her actions
Don't you got
speak.
bigger fish to fry, Simone? You just
She
wanted to go.
fucking fried them, Shawn. She won the goddamn gold. What do you mean she has bigger fish to
Exactly.
fry?
Then bigger things. You're giving this girl attention.
She
It should be
already
like,
did it, and it was the
gold medal
period at
should
the
be-
end of the statement. Do not cut me off.
The gold
It's the
medal
period at
speaks
the
for
end of this-
itself.
Exactly.
I feel like you just gave this girl attention she didn't deserve.
Oh, I absolutely couldn't agree less.
What?
She doesn't. It
I would
has
say-
nothing to do with attention
Hey,
to her. It has nothing to do with attention.
You gave her attention. I was looking her up. Everybody else was.
Good.
Trying
I'm
to figure
glad
out
you
what the
did.
deal with this girl is.
Because you want to know something? Good. Simone is the greatest of all time, and she can put a period at whatever
This
end
is
of the
what I
sentence
think
she
the problem
wants.
is. I think people put them way too much on a pedestal. Like, she can do whatever she wants. I'm like,
I did not say she can do whatever she wants.
but I feel like, that seemed kind of a little cringy to me. I'm afraid to say that because I think Simone might come after me if I say that.
Okay.
'Cause I feel like
LOL that she would give you the time of day.
that's what
funny.
I'm saying is she goes
But-
after everybody. I was just about to say on
Wait,
social
who is
media.
everybody?
What do you mean?
Who is everybody? Tell
People
me.
were like talk about her husband and she's like, she goes off or she says, I feel like there's always a little drama around Simone. That's all I asked.
Can I ask
think
you a
she's
real question?
fantastic athlete.
Can I ask you a real question?
Yeah.
Seriously, and I don't know that you can even answer this unbiasedly, and I'm not trying to be a see you next Tuesday, but would you feel this way if it was Michael Phelps? Would you feel this way if it was a male athlete? Be honest.
Yeah, but the very first, I'm not saying don't clap back at her at all. Like, love that. But I'm saying the first thing you post on Instagram, it's like, oh, you really don't like this girl because you don't got to say anything to her at this point.
I hear you.
Right? Like, clap back maybe a day or two later. I'm just saying the timing maybe is wrong. I don't mind her doing what she did, but I'm saying the very first post, obviously it worked. It landed. Everybody loved it. I mean, that post has millions of comments and likes. Like, it landed.
Yeah.
The girl shut down her YouTube.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, I think that girl should have been like taking advantage of that and be like, shit, all right, congrats, girls. That's my bad. Like, I think she should have owned up to it and used that to continue on with her discussion about the Olympics instead of shying away. Like, it looks bad that you just like shut your page down and you like went and hid in the closet. I feel like Michaela should have just been like, shit, all right, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Hand up. There is depth. You girls do work hard. Congrats. Love you guys. Team USA.
I agree with you.
But I was like, oh, I don't know if you need to do that right away. But guess what? I'm not the one who won a gold medal, so I can't say anything. That's just my opinion.
Listen, I don't think Simone can do anything she wants, but I do think that she very subtly and very, I mean, yeah, was it petty? Of course. But all she did was make an Instagram caption. She did not tag her. She did not refer to the situation.
Well, we
she
all
just
know.
Said,
I mean, what do you mean?
But who cares? She's not allowed to make her Instagram caption what she wants it to be.
If she was using
now.
that for emotion, I mean, for motivation, damn, like you were really bothered by that, Simone.
Would you not be bothered by that?
No, it's great. I'm just saying, like, every athlete goes to something for motivation.
Sure.
And that was very high on her list.
It just,
she had that Instagram caption planned for months, probably.
Here's the thing that I'm speaking for Simone on her behalf. Do I know this for a fact? Obviously not. But I think that after the Tokyo Olympics, Simone had a huge mental block where then she felt like the world, the United States, everybody hated her. If you haven't watched the documentary on Netflix, I highly encourage you to do so.
I started watching it, yeah.
So imagine feeling like the entire world hates you because you quote unquote quit. Excuse me.
Oh, damn. This is a PG podcast. We got locks right here.
Quit. I was trying to merge words. Quit. Yeah, sorry, locks. Quit, quote unquote, even though it was a mental block. Yeah. So the word block and quit is what I was trying to say together.
That was
okay.
More drama.
Okay.
More drama.
Okay.
That whole
Let me
thing
finish
was
the
dramatic.
sentence. Let me finish the sentence. So she's in the dark place, and she only has a handful of people that know her personally, know her as a gymnast, know her as a friend, and Michaela was one of them. And then they come out on the other side of all this bullshit, COVID, the mental block, everything, the scandal with the doctors.
Yeah.
And they are going to put this team together. Like, finally, as a sport, we're healing. And then someone from your own side.
Kayla didn't say anything bad about Simone, though.
It doesn't matter.
She
Simone
didn't.
is the captain and the GOAT of this sport. It
Right.
doesn't matter if she personally pointed out Simone. Simone takes that personally because she represents
That's why
the
she's a
sport
great
with the
captain.
girls.
Heck yeah. I would take that personally, too, for my
So-
team. But I'm
So
saying,
what side are you on?
no, I'm saying that you can't be like, everybody was against her. All this was like, well, yeah, that's what you get when you're the best in the world. And when
Sure.
you're getting millions of dollars and getting all these sponsorship deals and you're going to have the rest of your life set up, there's going to be things like some pressure and criticism the entire time. Look at Michael Jordan. Look at LeBron James, the best athletes in the world. Mm-hmm. I'm not. You're trying to say this is a girl or guy thing, like Michael Phelps. I don't think Michael Phelps would do that.
I was just asking if you think that you would think Michael Phelps was dramatic if he just called out his haters. Like when he calls out Ryan Lochte, who talks shit about him, that's not dramatic?
No, there's a video going around of Phelps. Did you see it when?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
That
the
was fun to
Australian
watch.
was talking
Yes.
about the cowbell and everything like
And
that.
about
He said,
USA?
I would watch this every day before I got in the pool.
That pumped me up so much. Like you like see him
So
like
say
steaming.
that Michael Phelps got out of the water, won a gold medal.
Wouldn't go to his
posted a picture.
Instagram and put up.
But do you know that for a fact? Like,
Yes,
I feel like
I
we're
do.
comparing elephants to apples right now. It's not
You're
even
the one who
apples to
asked the
oranges.
comparison.
But I'm asking you if you think that you would have the same mindset looking at someone like Michael Phelps versus looking at someone like Simone Biles. I was asking if you think you'd have the same reaction. You said yes. That's all I was wondering.
Yeah.
I don't believe you, but I hear you.
No, you don't think I'd be like, dude, Of course.
I think maybe eventually you would, but I think that you would be quicker to jump on Simone. You started this with saying that you haven't watched an ounce of Olympics. So you haven't watched any of the coverage. You don't know the backstory. You don't know the layers that went behind this.
I'm just saying.
You don't know her personally.
I see a lot of drama surrounding Simone. And I just ask, is Simone a little dramatic? Is she a little, would you say, is she a diva?
I don't know her personally.
But from the outside looking in, that's all I want to know. That's why I asked you. You're a gymnast. I'm not watching. So I want to know why all the headlines are always dealing with Simone. That was it.
Well, they're dealing with Simone because she's the greatest of all time.
Exactly.
And yeah, I think that it's not always going to be good news when you're the best in your sport. I think it comes with the territory. But I also think there's nothing wrong with standing up for yourself. Simone didn't personally attack this girl. Now, do I think that the fallout, now that because there's a bunch of internet bullies, like, yes, Simone, what you say carries so much more weight than anything I will ever say in my entire life times a billion.
Exactly.
I'm not disagreeing with you in that. But what I'm saying is that she is allowed to make an Instagram caption. You want to know something? If Michaela didn't want something like that coming her way, then she shouldn't have said the shit she said.
I'm not saying...
See? Locke says yes. Thank you, Locks.
I'm not saying nobody's not allowed to do anything. Everybody's allowed to write and say whatever they want. I'm saying I personally thought, I don't know if that was the best caption for right now in the moment. Okay. Seems a little petty and seems like...
Oh, it is petty.
All you got to do is just sit in that picture, hold your damn gold medal up, and you don't have to write anything.
Yeah.
You know?
I hear you.
But I'm an old man, so, kids these days.
Well, and I do think that also plays into it.
Or just write, suck it. That'd be better.
That's better?
That'd be better than what she said. Because she personally directed it right at that one girl. I'm like, damn, you were triggered, Simone. You got real triggered by that one girl.
Listen, I hear you. I don't agree with you, but I respect that that's your opinion. And I think that, it is petty. But she's the greatest of all time. So
let's get a third party in here. Easton, what do you think on this subject matter? Simone Biles, Instagram post, caption. Do you like it? You don't like it?
Honestly, I'm not too aware of the situation.
All right.
Thank you for your contribution. Anyways, what's coming up today, though, is the all-around, and I'm very excited to see it because unfortunately, it could be Simone's last all-around competition of her career.
I don't think so.
And, okay.
She's the greatest ever. She's got more in the tank.
Okay. Anything else you want to talk about? I didn't realize that I was here on a professional Olympic panel. I would have prepared better. So sorry.
No, is it her last?
I don't know. I mean, it could be. It's. I don't see what else she has to prove.
Yeah.
She is 27, the oldest gymnast. Feels like forever. I know that sounds insane, but before this year, they literally nicknamed their team the Golden Girls because of how old this team average is.
What's the average?
22.5 years old.
That's crazy that's old.
The youngest one is 16. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying is that gymnastics is an insane sport. I started when I was Lox's size. It is a very young sport and has traditionally been teenagers in the Olympic Games. Allie Raceman was 22 and she was referred to as the grandma.
Oh, I remember that.
And so now Simone's 27 and I don't know that physically it's feasible. I mean, obviously she's doing great, but it's like your body is breaking down, the number of hours that you have to train to maintain how competitive she is. But what do I know? She could come back. She's the GOAT. She's the GOAT. But it's sad to think that this could be the last one that we'll see her do an all-around competition in.
Yeah. That's why I wonder if she will come back because she's so much better than everybody else. And she's obviously not normal and has taken that average up way higher. So it's like she would be the one to come back at 31 years old. Is it every 4 years?
Yeah. I mean,
Is it 4?
Yeah, the Olympics, I mean, it's always possible. I would never count her down and out, especially after everything we've seen from her. It just, I mean, I don't know, why? What does she have to prove? Now has 4 skills named after her, and this afternoon she has the possibility to be able to name a 5th skill after her, which is unheard of. Naming one skill after yourself is unheard of. So you have to basically compete that skill in an international competition and make it. You can throw the skill, but not land it, doesn't count. It will not be called the Shawn Booth. But if you throw the skill in international competition and you make it, that now goes in the code of points for all of gymnastics to see that you can learn the Shawn Booth on whatever event. This is the skill it is, and it's named after you for the rest of eternity.
What would my move be?
Talking shit with absolutely no information to back it up. That would be the Shawn Booth.
Just an outside perspective
Are
here.
you chewing into a microphone right now? I'm about to leave this podcast.
Peanut butter balls.
Do you understand how triggering this is? You want to talk about triggered? I'm about to say some hurtful things if you smack your mouth into the microphone. Thank God we're not wearing headphones. I would take the baby and run.
What did
Locks,
you say? Hold on.
tell your dad to figure it out.
Okay, so now is it Simone Biles move 1, Simone Biles move 2, Simone Biles move 3? Is that what they call them?
Yes, Biles 1, Biles 2, Biles 3, Biles 4. Now, potentially Biles 5.
Okay.
So she has 2, she has 4. And the only event she's missing is uneven bars. And today is her last time to be able to do that because she didn't qualify for individual uneven bar event finals. So she's got to throw it today, make it successfully in order for it to go in the coda points.
How close could you be to nailing Biles 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5?
Probably as close as you. So very far. Yeah, Locks agrees. No. These are insane skills that I could never. There is one other woman who competes one of the Biles on floor. And so out of the 4, almost 5 skills that she has, only one of them has been done by another human being. That's how difficult they are.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
You've been watching.
But, she's dramatic, so whatever.
Yeah, thanks for agreeing with me. Moving on to the track. Have you seen the show on Netflix? It's pretty sweet. Follows the best runners in the world.
Track has not started up yet. We're still in swimming,
Okay.
right? Oh, I don't know. You haven't watched. Never mind. Okay, yes. Moving on. Sorry.
So it's a cool series on Netflix, and it follows the best runners, the sprinters, who are like the well-known ones. Like Usain Bolts. I asked Dre the other day. I was talking about Usain Bolt. She's never heard of Usain Bolt. She didn't know who Usain Bolt is.
That
I said, you gotta
feels
be
illegal.
You gotta be kidding
Everybody
me, right?
knows
I'm like,
who that is. Yeah.
you don't know that? You never seen that?
Maybe she was actively trying to avoid that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The best pose of all time.
Yeah.
The greatest sprinter of all time. World record.
Yeah. No, I
From
mean,
Jamaica.
I think everybody knows him.
Yeah,
No,
apparently
but
Dre
not
doesn't.
Dre.
Yeah.
That's interesting, but also very unsurprising from her. I got to be honest.
Yeah. So these sprinters, Noah Lyles is the best guy in the U.S. now. Other countries, they got a really good guy from France and the girl from the U.S. Remember? Sha'Carri Richardson.
I don't know much about her except for that she's very colorful and can run like hell. And quite honestly, I love it.
Yeah.
And so does Locks.
And she is very sassy. Like she's got
Is she
attitude.
dramatic too?
Yeah, I'd say she's dramatic.
Okay.
Definitely. But yeah, she didn't qualify, or she got kicked off the last Olympics for testing positive for marijuana.
Yeah.
Which sucked because she was our best runner.
I have heard that has since been taken off the banned list.
Which it should.
I mean, yeah.
It's not a performance.
If you can run faster than everyone in the world high, you deserve to be high.
But also, athletes just use THC to recover.
Yeah.
They're
Well, I think that as we, as a society, have grown and gotten
Evolve.
smarter and evolved, have realized the benefits of THC as opposed to it being like this slippery slope gateway drug that it was painted to be in the past. But I mean, when you know better, you do better. And I think that we are on our way to be doing better. Obviously, I'm excited for anyone that has made it to the Olympics. And I just feel like THC is a silly thing to take someone out of a competition for. But what do I know? I'm not a governing body. So
Right.
I understand that there's rules, but I just feel like that's not a performance enhancing drug that we should be concerned about.
I agree with you. And they do such a good job with this show, kind of just like building up little rivalries, right? Great story, comeback, failed drug test. 4 years later, she's back. What does she have? Can she beat the world record? Can she get a gold medal? And then you have a girl from Jamaica who is the USA's rival. It's always USA and Jamaica for sprints. And there's this girl from Jamaica who's like super like quiet and just like all business. And then you got Sha'Carri just like super flashy.
Yeah.
And it's just like the two polar opposites. But then they, have races, between the Olympics. So they're lining up next to one another. And you got the coaches on the sidelines. They're talking. And it's just a cool series going back and forth with the men and the women.
I got to be honest, I haven't graduated from the chapter of gymnastics.
Yeah.
And I've been watching swimming only during the prime time. So I have not wrapped my head around the fact that track is coming up yet. I'll get there. It's 10 days, baby. I got to spread myself. I can't spread myself too thin.
Is the entire Olympics 10 days?
Yeah.
It's just 10 days.
It's 2 weeks. Yeah.
Damn.
I know. And it feels like forever.
Feels like it's already been a couple weeks.
Yeah, but imagine training your entire life in gymnastics, I can only speak, but it's literally your entire life for all in all, the time that you're actually competing, less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
If you put every event, every skill together, like when you're actually doing gymnastics competitively, it's like less than 5 minutes. So your entire life for that.
I wonder how much.
And same with running. Like obviously they're trying to be the fastest. So you want the shortest amount of time of you actually competing. Unless you're Katie Ledecky and you're just like out there laps ahead of everybody else, swimming for miles, it felt like. I don't know if you've watched that, but
Yeah.
I saw this meme that I laughed about. It's like, my favorite part of the Olympics is when they do the overhead view of the pool and it looks like Katie Ledecky is in the pool by herself because that's how far ahead she is than everybody else behind her.
Yeah.
Happened again last night.
Crazy.
Good for her. She, I think, is someone that will come back again.
Yeah.
She has like vocalized that. I think she's the quote unquote greatest, like the comparable to Simone in swimming. Again, if I'm speaking out of turn, I am not a swimmer. I apologize. But
she's the best of all time, I think.
She said that she would come back again. She said, I will keep coming back until my body gives out, which good for her.
Yeah.
I don't know if Simone has that. I don't know.
We'll find out. I heard Michael Phelps, all of his records have already been broken, which
The
just
little
sounds
French dude.
crazy.
The little French dude broke. I mean, he's not a little French dude. He's a large man.
Yeah.
But Michael Phelps like gave him the medal, gave him the hug or whatever, and it was like he broke his record. Then he came to the Olympics and broke it again or something like that. An incredible story. But I love to watch like the evolution of sports.
Or just getting old.
Because but you think that Michael Phelps just set these records, or I felt like that. I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but like I feel like, oh my God, Michael Phelps was just on top of his game. He was just here. But when you think about it, it's been a couple Olympics now.
I know.
He said that he had the record for 21 years before the French.
Also, and the impressive thing about Michael Phelps and why he was a unicorn and different, because he broke the records in like all of the events.
Yeah.
So he was the best in all of the events, where now everybody kind of specializes and stays in the lane, and they train all year, all their life for one event.
All right, I
so
didn't know
Michael
that.
Phelps was so good at everything. That's why he was kind of an outlier.
He's the all-arounder.
Yeah.
He's the Simone Biles.
Yeah, exactly.
I
just wouldn't post a cringy Instagram caption though.
Okay. Right. We'll have to take that up with him. Maybe we should call Michael Phelps and see what he thinks.
Yeah, let's get him on the horn.
From one goat to another,
Yeah.
meaning Simone, not you, by the way.
I'll call him.
Oh, okay. Just FaceTime him up right now.
His phone says he's busy.
Interesting. I wonder why.
Yeah.
Do not disturb.
Do not disturb.
I love being competitive. I feel like you love being competitive. I feel like that's what the Olympics is. I'm impressed / surprised / disappointed that you haven't watched any of the Olympics, but I guess I'll take
no
it.
time. That's crazy.
Okay, but for 2 weeks you can't support your country?
Oh, now I'm not supporting our country?
You're not.
I'm supporting our country. I'm the biggest American there is. Yeah.
Okay. That's a little dramatic if you ask me.
This is a little dramatic. I'm pretty American though. I love our country. I just don't have time to watch the Olympics.
I understand.
And I
I'm
put
just
it
giving you a hard
on,
time.
and every time I've turned on like YouTube TV and you got the split screen of all four,
Yeah.
nothing interests me.
It's exciting to see people's dreams come true. I think that that's the part that gets me the most. It doesn't matter the sport. I get emotional whenever you see someone accomplish something that you know, not only has it been their dedication, their coaches, their teammates, their parents, the hours, the money, the sacrifice, all of that to come together. And in America, I can't speak for other countries, but in sports like swimming and gymnastics, men's, women, it doesn't matter. Nobody cares about these sports other than right now. So for them to also get a little bit of fame and glory and become the pommel horse guy, hell yeah. I love that for them.
Yeah.
Like, good for them.
Yeah.
That makes me feel so warm inside because you put in the work, you made the effort, you performed, and now you're reaping all the benefits, and as you should.
Yeah, I agree. The sad thing is like how life is after that. So you
Post-Olympics depression, baby.
Oh, so much.
I've heard it often, and it's so sad because truly, think about it realistically. In 3 months from now, Steven will be able to go to Publix just fine. No one's going to know he's the pommel horse guy unless he's in an environment that, like, lets he's signing autographs behind a table with a name tag or something. Other than that, I mean, Simone's a little different. I think people would recognize her.
she's
She's
been in the
as tall as
spotlight.
Locks, and she's all over the place in the media.
For years.
But for
and
these
years.
other Olympians who maybe are on a team sport as well and it doesn't have that individualized attention. Yeah, that's got to be a weird mental adjustment.
Talk about 15 minutes of fame. It's
Yeah.
just like up and down.
Well,
right
you
away.
work so slowly your entire life to get there for it to just like firework into the air and then it just comes
Well, what
back down to
about the
earth.
people who didn't make the Olympic roster or they didn't place and they didn't get a medal? So you worked your entire life. This was your last Olympics. And then boom, now what do you do with your life? And mid-20s.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You spent, since you were, like you said, Lox's size, your entire life was focused on Olympic medal. You didn't get one. Now what?
Well, I think in some ways that might be easier. I know that's a loaded statement, but I think, I'm not saying easier, how do I want to say this? I think in some ways the recovery from that is just different. I wouldn't say easier, it's just different because you got to not make the team within your own cocoon. You don't know, can you name a swimmer that didn't make the team? Can you name a gymnast that didn't make the team? No, but you can name the ones that did. And it's like they don't get the taste of the fame and like the rush. So that's obviously unfortunate. But I do kind of feel like that's easier to recover from.
Well, yeah, because you're not recovering from anything.
Well, you're recovering from an immense disappointment. It's just not in the public eye. And everything you should know of anyone that recovering in the comfort of your own home is much different than recovering at the scrutiny of the public.
Yeah. But I just feel like the Olympians who made the team, who got the medals, they're able to utilize that
Absolutely.
for years.
Oh, yes.
You know, they can, you know, like the next year, they're going to be doing events. They're going to be
Yes.
getting paid. They will get sponsorships.
They can capitalize on
and It's
that.
going to be like, hey, we got Olympic silver medalists.
Yep.
The other people is just like, well, now I got to work a
Thanks for
full-time
trying.
job.
Yeah.
And it's kind of similar to Nashville or anybody, musicians, artists. You come here, what's the expiration date? Like at what
Everybody
point,
has one.
like an actress or an actor, you're working your entire life, you get to 28, 29, 30, mid-30s, you still haven't made it, you're still struggling to pay rent. At what time do you throw that towel in?
Right. Well, I feel like it applies to both music and sports, I guess. But something that I hear around town here is just like, you know, make sure you're nice to people on the way up, especially when it's real quick.
Yeah.
Because guess who you're going to see on the way down?
Yeah.
Those same people. And I can name specific artists, specific managers, people that had a real quick rise that may not last or have already started not to last, and they're on the back nine and they're on the way down. And let me tell you, everybody remembers how you treated them on the way up.
Exactly.
And so
Well,
I
it's
think
just
that's
a stupid game, the whole thing.
it is a stupid game,
Right,
but at the
because-
same time, it's a lesson in humility.
Yeah.
You cannot be the GOAT for forever.
But it's like, oh no, exactly. And then to those same artists who made it up quick, it's like, oh, well, where was everybody before you made it? You know, and then there's a quote that I saw a couple weeks ago. I don't know where I saw it, but it was something like, you are one success away from having everybody say, oh, I knew you could do it. Mm-hmm. And one major accomplishment away from everybody saying, oh yeah, like I like you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, but until then, nobody gives a shit.
Nope. No. I don't know. I obviously don't know what it's like to be an artist. I've worked with a lot of them. I feel like I relate more to the athlete mindset, but
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of similarities because essentially you're both just trying to be the best at your craft.
Yeah.
Again, another mental, emotional, human experiment.
Yeah.
I would love to just be a fly on the wall at the Olympics, though, to just really absorb it and see. Because I think something that I wish I could feel that you can't feel through the television screen is the energy of the arena. I would love, the Olympics are in LA in 2028, and it is on my bucket list. I would love to make it to at least one gymnastics event in LA in 2028. I have already started scouting. If you have any hookups, please let me know.
Yeah.
I would like to go. I don't know that I think I would be so overwhelmed. I'd be so emotional to be able to witness that in real life. It's just the best of the sport that I love, the sport that shaped me into who I am. I know that sounds so cliche, but everything goes back to that. The good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between is just like, I can't imagine witnessing that in real life. And you know what? You see how important the crowd is because of the difference the Tokyo Olympics to this Olympics are. There was nobody in the crowd in Tokyo, and guess what? It showed. The energy, none. No crowd. Can you imagine making it to the Olympics and nobody can come and watch?
Yeah.
That's an aspect that helps you
for sure.
so much.
And
they were robbed of that.
Yeah. I would love for it to be on home turf in the USA as an Olympian.
Well,
the crowd is going to be crazy.
Oh my gosh. And you know what? Maybe that's the kick that Simone needs to come back, is that she doesn't have to travel far. It's just right there in LA, babe. Come on back.
Yeah, she'll
Let us
be
watch
back.
you do it one more time.
I think she'll be back.
You do? You really think so?
I do.
Okay.
Big Simone
I don't
Biles
think
guy.
so.
I think she'll be back. I'm rooting for her.
As long as she's not too dramatic, though.
As long as I'm sure we'll get a bunch of headlines in the next 4 years, though, of Simone Biles.
And I hope so. I really do hope so. Yeah, I mean, I hope she's not cringe and dramatic for you, but I think that she has completely changed the sport so much that it would be such a shame if she didn't stay in the spotlight of the sport for years to come, which I think at this point is physically impossible. Like Michael Phelps is now commentating. Other retired gymnasts are now commentating. I think Simone will step into a space where she will still be a prominent figure for years and years and years to come, for the rest of her life.
Yeah, absolutely. She'll be a big part of U.S. gymnastics till the day she dies.
Loxy B, we put him to sleep finally.
Finally.
That was tough
51
little
minutes in.
Yeah, tough little go there.
That's
buddy.
where it gets a little bit tougher now because he needs to move, wants to be entertained, which, the first few months he can just sleep and hang out.
He is still pretty chill though.
He's
Even
still
when
very
he's fussy,
chill.
he's good.
He likes to stand up now though. Like he doesn't like to lay down. He wants to be up and moving. He's also been saying his first word.
What is it?
Got it on camera. He's been saying it the last few nights actually.
What is it?
And Dre sent me this morning. We'll let everybody hear Lox's very first word. Let's go.
That's really cute. Did you hear yourself, Loxy?
You say
B?
dad there? You keep
Loxy.
saying it the last couple days.
Aw.
Let's go. We were sitting there eating dinner, and then he said, Dad, Dad. And then we both stopped and looked at each other like, did he just...
Was that
Oh my
English?
God.
Was that real?
Yeah. Buddy. So he's been... I want to believe that he's saying Dada because he say it so much. I hear it's easier to say Dada than Mama, but I'm going to just say that he...
Listen, ride that wave, baby.
Yeah.
You know what? I think mama and da 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 are
Same
very,
thing.
very similar.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
one for dad. I'm sure, in a couple, I don't even know how long it takes, but from what I've heard is that they're just real big mama's boys when they're little,
yeah.
but then all of a sudden it's going to be, I want to go
Yeah.
have fun with dad, but I want to be nurtured by mom. So he's going to go to you for a good time and go to
Yeah.
mom for the hug and,
Yeah.
whatever cliche traditional
Yeah.
things that we've learned about human behavior over time. I'm sure those will take place, but
Oh, yeah.
you will always have the dub in the da category. So good for you, buddy. Your first gold medal of fatherhood.
He's a mama's boy. He's obsessed with his mom. But I heard that their first best friend, favorite person is their dad because they are so attached to their mom that they're basically one together. You know what I'm saying? Like he's so
Well, they were.
he
one
looks at
for a
the
while.
dad as
A friend.
somebody separate,
Yeah.
but he's just so attached to his mom that's what I heard.
I mean,
don't
I
know how
believe
true
it.
it is, but I can see
He
that.
was living rent free for 10 months in there. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, they're going to share a bond.
Yeah.
But I think that dads also just traditionally represent fun
Yeah.
and the roughhousing and
Yeah.
this and that. And then mom is nurturing. You fall, you get a boo boo, you go to mama.
Yeah.
Oh, mama will come here and hug you. Just a little more nurturing and cuddly. But
Yeah.
I know that you will be also both. What are you doing right now? Are you?
I was
listening to us?
recording Locks, holding my hands.
Mid podcast. I'm trying to talk to
I'm
him. He's taking a
listening to
video. I don't even know what I was
I'm
saying.
listening.
It wasn't important.
Yeah, I agree. I'm the roughhouse fun guy, but also I'm way more crazy than Dre when it comes to safety and
Pretends to be shocked.
I mean,
I was over at your house when you weren't there hanging out with Dre and Locks last week, and she was telling me that the little teething
Oh,
that are made Shawn, they're made for his
The
exact
sticks
age.
are like
Shawn,
7
I'm
inches
telling you,
long.
someone way smarter than you invented this specifically for babies that are his exact age and exactly like how far along they are. I promise you, he's good.
They
You gotta let him
apparently
eat.
dissolve.
Yes.
But what if one is you snap off 3 or 4 inches and it goes right down your throat? It's just going to dissolve in the back of your throat?
How the fark is your child going to fit 3 and 4 inches of a snack down his throat?
I'm saying there's these little sticks and
They're not sticks. They're fat. It's like a flattened banana.
no, we got these sticks too. I don't know which one you're talking
No,
about.
I'm talking about the one that was a flattened banana. I was like, Lox is not going to choke. You can. It dissolves before you could even physically choke. Like that is the science behind it.
Yeah.
You are good, my guy. I promise you, you are good.
Yeah, the eating scares the crap out of me.
I understand that obviously you're just protective because he's your son and you don't want him to choke, but like you gotta chill. You're gonna choke yourself out stressing about him eating, and he's eating. You're doing it right. It's not like he's eating a steak burger. With
I mean,
you guys
Dre
at the
will just
table.
toss anything on his. I'm like, you got to cut that up a little smaller, no? She's like, oh my God, Shawn, stop. She thinks I'd feed him bottles until he's like 5 years old, which
You
I would.
You would breastfeed him if you could. Let's be honest. I'm honestly probably
Get out of
not
here.
shocked if you've tried, but
Look at his hair right now.
yeah, little mohawk.
He's got gel in there. Dre put gel in his hair this morning, and it's a little
I did
mohawk.
not know that.
Yeah,
You look so handsome.
the first
Loxy
time.
B.
first time. I was also thinking yesterday, I'm like, this dude hasn't worn any shoes in like 8 months. How good of a life is that? Just barefoot.
I dream of living that life.
Yeah.
You're so cute, Loxy B.
All right, so let's finish this off with the absolute worst. And since we're on the topic of Instagram captions today, why don't we do the absolute worst Instagram trend or something that you see on Instagram when you're scrolling, you're like, ugh, I don't want to see any more of that.
You lead us off.
Okay.
I need a second to think about mine.
I'll go first. Don't want to judge, first of all, especially mothers or fathers. Now I've become an Instagram dad where like all I want to do is post. I have so many photos and videos of him that's like my entire camera roll, and I like have to refrain from posting everything, but I just want them for the memories.
Sure.
And I'm like, you'll understand once you're a dad or mom. But I remember like before I had a kid, I'm like, I don't care about your kids. Like stop posting about your kids.
Yeah.
Like I've become that guy. But one thing I see or I've seen are people setting up their cameras like, and they show the like night routine of them like getting up and feeding. Like, I'm like, so you're telling me you have a camera in your bedroom the entire night that you sleep, and then your baby cries, and then they like get up out of bed, like yawn, and then they like grab the baby and they're sitting on the side of the bed, then they're like feeding the baby and then trying to look all cute, and they put the baby back down and they go back to bed. And the camera still rolls, and they show like how many times during the night they do that. I'm like, you recorded your entire night of sleep for an Instagram post. Have you seen that?
I have seen that, but I just think it's awfully cheeky. I don't even know what the word is coming from you, someone who is an influencer who also makes money off recording your life. These are a lot of them are like mommy influencers.
I know, but again, I would never set up a camera the entire night.
Yeah.
I'm like, how much damn battery and how much storage do you have, first of all? And it's like,
I mean, I do think that we have really crossed a line of like nothing is private anymore.
but it's like, and then, you know, like, what if your baby didn't cry at all that night? Are you like waking up your baby? Are you like, you know, it
Yeah,
just
now all of a sudden
seems,
you're second
it
guessing them.
seems very staged.
Yeah, it's not genuine. I mean, I feel like any like, oh, this is my day.
They'll
When
like turn to the camera and be like,
yeah, when they wake up and someone's already recording them, like, yeah, that's obviously staged. That's not when you woke up. Yeah, like I could do without the dramatics. I agree with you. It's a little like, okay, we see what you're doing here. It just feels invasive to me when it comes to the kids, though. And I don't know. I don't have kids, so like I can't talk. But it just feels like some things like. But then again, okay, so let's play devil's advocate.
right.
If you are sitting at home and you're nursing your kid through the night and you
Right.
see an influencer that you like also doing it, okay, you for a half a second don't feel as alone. I don't know. I feel like there's
I
good
get
to
that.
it, but I do understand the cringy aspect of it.
And listen, if I was getting paid by a brand to be I'd record all night.
It's exactly what I just said to you, and you said, no. Did I not? Am I hallucinating today? I feel like this podcast has been a lot of, oh, did you want to hold my hand? Hallucinating. Listen, I don't have necessarily a cringy trend, but I just have something that I feel like is the absolute worst. And again, it's like revolving around intimate moments and everything. But when you go to a wedding, there is a professional photographer and videographer on site.
Put your phone down.
Grandma June is not going to have like any sort of footage that is so captivating that she needs to have her iPhone 4 out to capture it. It bums me out when I go to weddings and it's just like I'm thinking of the professional photo of the bride walking to the love of her life and someone just boop right in the aisle puts their cell phone out.
I know.
Like put your phone away, you guys.
Yeah.
It's like, first of all, respect the bride and groom. Second of all, just like also respect the photographer that they paid thousands of dollars to show up and shoot this for.
Right.
And also, when you get the photos back, you don't want a million iPhones in the photo.
Yeah.
You want the people that you love, right? I don't know if that's a trend. I don't know if that fits the absolute worst category that you're asking for. But I do feel like it's such a bummer that we've just lost all secrecy or all privacy. And like, yes, I could play devil's advocate all day and think of the other side. I know it's important here, but I just like, there should be some things where you put your phone down.
Yeah, now
Enjoy the
there's
moment.
the last couple of weddings I've been to, the priest will walk down the aisle or somebody be like, please, everybody turn your phones off. The bride and the groom have asked that nobody takes photos or videos.
And I think that is a very easy request for your guests to follow. And if they cannot, you shouldn't be allowed to participate in the wedding.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're telling everyone to stop, yeah.
It's you guys, we got it.
Yeah.
We got it. This person does this for a living. We're going to have the most beautiful photos. I will send them to you the second I have them. Please put your phone down. And the other thing that goes with that is that Grandma June has absolutely no boundaries. And she's posting a picture of you at the aisle while you're still in the aisle. Like, that's real-time Facebook updating for her and all her girls to see. And it's just like, bro, let me have 5 minutes of a
highlight
wedding.
of Grandma June's month.
Listen, I know I'm not shitting on Grandma June, but it's just like, come on, give us a sec. Let us have this moment. And I also just feel like that contributes to me not wanting to have a wedding. I know that sounds, as you would say, dramatic, but I'm okay with being dramatic. So.
Does that happen every time? Like every wedding? Someone's like got a phone out?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Shit.
And I feel like it's only uptick over, obviously everybody has a phone now where
For sure.
it's just a bummer because I feel like the wedding industry in general has changed so much that now we're adding like, so now we have our semi-professional photographers. It's like, no, that's a bad photo. Just let us do it. Let us live. Let us be in love.
What do you got, Easton? Anything on Instagram that you see? You're like, I could do without that.
The day in the life videos, don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I don't care.
You don't care what their day is like from morning to sun up to sundown?
I don't care.
All right.
Especially when it's you can tell it's reenacted and like you actually just like stage the entire thing. It's just like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone cares.
Noted. That's a good one. That's a good one. Lox, what about you, buddy?
I just wanted Lox to stand up and say goodbye to everybody because he's the end of the podcast and he's the cutest.
Are you smiley boy? Are you the smiliest, happiest boy out there?
Smileyest, happiest boy. And look at those little leg rolls. I want to eat them.
All right, Lox, let's do it. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Team! Face bump.